Today we're here with Bishop John Rucyahana from Rwanda. We're delighted to have you here. I'm Jamie Van Leeuwen. I'm the Executive Director and founder of the Global Livingston Institute. And we're excited to share some time with you and to learn a little bit more about the extraordinary work that you've done, Bishop. You and I have been friends for over 6 years now.
Yes.
So welcome. And I'm excited about having the opportunity to have you tell a little bit about your story and a little bit about the work, the extraordinary work that you and a group of leaders have done in Rwanda. And maybe if you could talk a little bit about the history leading up to the conflict and kind of how you came to grow into a leadership role in the country.
Thank you very much. I will be happy to share that. I'm a bishop in an Anglican church, and I am born Rwandan and raised Rwandan, and partly educated in Rwanda, Uganda, and United States for my master's degree. I lived most of my prime time in Uganda and served as a minister in Uganda. In 1994, when the genocide struck in my country, I was not only called back to go and help, but I had a conviction that I had to contribute to the recovery and the well-being of Rwanda after the genocide had consumed over 1 million of our brothers and sisters and our children. So I went to Rwanda, and a year later I was consecrated a bishop in the north. We did not only lose human beings as you conceive. We lost over 1 million people. We lost the infrastructure. We lost the economy. We lost the social fabric. We got the tear of the society. And to repair that requires a deep sigh and a deliberate move to research it. So I got involved in the recovery of Rwanda, not only as a church leader, but as a social entrepreneur. I started school. One of them is Sunrise, which you know. More than well over a half of the students were orphans, not only of the survivors of the genocide, but also the orphans of the perpetrators whose parents had actually been killing others. So I got all these orphans together, and I got some of the students from the well-to-do families to avoid the stigmatization of that big community I was building, to heal the trauma, build a sample of reconciliation at an early age, and also give them the best education and build their characters. So I also now today serve as the chairman of Unity and Reconciliation Commission in the country, because this is the work I've been doing since the genocide up to this time.
You were one of the first people to see the impact that genocide had on Rwanda when you came into the country. We know it was something that left hundreds of thousands of children orphaned. Talk about Rwanda in 1994, and then what does that look like almost 20 years later, and what are your reflections on that?
First of all, we are a community who's speaking one language. We are one culture. Sometimes the world makes a mistake calling us tribes. We aren't. We don't qualify to be called tribes. We're just, not even ethnicity apply. We speak one language, we have one culture, and yet we killed each other because of just an anthropological theory which was taught in schools, and we believed it, and we killed each other. And Rwanda in 1994, therefore, was a broken, the survivors were angry, hurt, disoriented. They didn't know what to do. The perpetrators of the genocide were traumatized by the guilt of the bloodletting of their neighbors, the people they went to school with, people they have ever known, they have ever lived with, people who had no grudge with them. And the country, therefore, was so broken with the guilt conscience, with the pain and the loss and the anger and the bitterness. So ready to build a country had to draw a lot of energy and determination to make sense of that brokenness. And that's why the Rwandan government and the Rwandan leaders chose right to confront this evil, this atrocious behavior head on. We had no luxury. We didn't have luxury to manage it other than confront it. That's why we admit, we take responsibility for those mistakes. We ask each other's forgiveness. We forgive each other. And we are going ahead to tell people, if I forgave you, I'm not doing you a favor. First of all, I'm doing a favor to myself. Because anger and bitterness consume me. So basically, you lose twice. So if you don't forgive, you can't think right, you can't act right, you can't develop, you can't promote anything that you want to do. Therefore, it serves me to forgive as to harbor that anger. So that's the basis of our recovery.
Talk about Rwanda today, and where do you see Rwanda in 10 years from now as you continue to orchestrate and support the reconciliation efforts?
We are still aware the pain is still fresh. The repercussions, the impact of the crash is still felt in Rwanda. Therefore, we cannot afford to play about with that kind of responsibility. We don't want to play with the reconstruction of our infrastructure. We don't want to misuse the opportunity to grow the economy. We don't want to mishandle our people again. And therefore, Rwanda today is taking up the lead in Africa in many things. The vision now is our people. They have suffered enough. They need a leadership which is really thinking about them and caring about them. Education. 18 years ago from the genocide, we had one university. Today, 18 years, we have managed to build 33 more universities. Rwanda has 34 universities. And we have to develop and establish integrity in our partnership with the world. And we know what it means to be corrupt. That's what led us to the genocide. Mm-hmm. So we can't afford to go there yet. Mm-hmm. So thank you for asking that.
Talk about the reconciliation efforts that you orchestrated, and how does one even begin to ignite a process that requires that people who did unspeakable things to one another come back and live together in the same community? How do you even go about starting a reconciliation process like that?
We had to review the law, no longer having photocopies of the Belgian law and the photocopies of the Belgian constitution. We had to draw a constitution which takes care of our values and our expectations and our challenges, and the constitution which helps us to develop out of where we are to where we dream to go and to be. That was the basis. Now, the Unity and Reconciliation Commission is constitutional. The unification of our people is constituted by the law of the land. All divisive tendencies and the principles were removed, and they are punishable by the law if anybody tried to repeat them. That's how we started off. But today, now that we are seeing the fruits of unity, we even love it more. We are now teaching the history. We have the syllabus, we have the curriculum from primary to high school to universities and to the communities. Because the Unity and Reconciliation policy spread from the government institutions, private institutions, through to the communities, to the leadership in the communities. Everybody is responsible for our unity and to protect our unity.